Ladies and gentlemen, hold onto your seats and leave your misconceptions behind. You're about to be taken on a white-knuckle roller coaster ride to the center of your imaginations. So please welcome, live on stage, one of the world's leading masters of mind control. The man who knows exactly what you're thinking. International psychic entertainer, Jonathan Royle.
Mic on out there, that's brilliant. We'll try that again. I'm going off. I'm coming back. I'll introduce myself. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jonathan Royle. That's much said. Good evening and welcome to what's going to be for most of you, I'm sure, a truly interesting, informative and entertaining hour or so. Now, the reason I say most of you is because actually a lot of you, and more than often, a large proportion of you tonight will actually, hopefully, volunteer when I ask for volunteers, because otherwise I've got nobody's minds to read up here on stage. That's kind of how it works. As you probably guessed at the beginning, my name is Jonathan Royle. This show is excerpts from a show that's going out on the road next month, a bit from the first half, a bit from the second half. A theatre show is normally 2 hours, so I've just basically taken a bit from the first half, a bit from the second, to give you sort of a mixed recipe tonight. Now, a lot of people said, why is it called Egg, Sausage and Peas? If you've not guessed, it's because it stands for ESP. I actually showed my mum the poster when it was designed, and she said to somebody else, oh, my son is doing this show, egg sausage and bacon. I'm like, how the fuck does that stand for ESP? For some apparent reason. So I thought that might confuse people, so we did at one point consider renaming the show Eels, Squid and Prawns, because it fitted better. Unfortunately, it sounded too much like a cruise ship act, so we ditched that in the end. So tonight we're going to try and read some people's minds, and we're ready for a bit of mind reading! Yes! Blimey, there may not be many of you, but we've definitely got quality tonight. That is fantastic. Because before the show I had a premonition, and I liked it so much, don't look, I shouldn't have dropped that. That is what's known in the technical trade as a cock-up. But hopefully nobody's thought that. So it may come as a surprise later, if this works. If it works, we'll edit that bit out. Yes, I had a premonition before the show, and I must remember to put the envelope on there the right way round. I'll put that in my notes next time. And what it is the end to this sentence, which is Jonathan Royle, is a question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Just because there's only 4 question marks doesn't mean it's a 4-letter word. So stop making up your own jokes. You can look on the internet for comments like that. But there is a legend, shall we say, that will about to be created with the help of you guys and girls in the audience. Now, what I've got here is a deck of cards, or random thought generators, in so much as we've got 55 different cards. They're printed like that, so you can tell them apart. Each and every one is different. I'm going to pick this lady here. Could you just name any playing card in the deck? One of the 52 cards.
Queen of Diamonds.
The Queen of Diamonds, okay? So we're going to find for you the Queen of Diamonds. We've not set anything up beforehand, have we? No, cool. Otherwise, this is kind of totally pointless if we have. Queen of Diamonds, could you take that card, keep it face up at the moment, don't look at it, other than at the front, because I need to explain to everyone that on the back of these cards are words, okay, that could possibly end that sentence, Jonathan Royle is a. So, for example, it could have been amazing. So it could be Jonathan Royle is an amazing person, or special, depending on how you wish to take that. Talented, inspiring, guru, helpful, rich. I should have put a plug in there. My website's magicalguru.com. That's why I wrote that as one. Honest, friendly. We could be here all night. All different words. You had an entirely free choice of card, yeah? Which therefore meant that randomly, without knowing, you also selected a word. And that one word tonight, can we find out what word it is that you actually picked? Could you read out loud for everyone what word you've got? No, if you could just read out the word you've got on the back of the card, the insult to wank. It is. I knew I shouldn't have asked my wife to write these cards out for me. Wanker. Great. Yeah, there's going to be one of those nights. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I did say I made a prediction before the show. To complete this sentence, Jonathan Royle is a... And apparently tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that makes me a wanker.
I'm a wanker, I'm a wanker, and just me go back and really want me. I'm a wanker, and I'm a wanker if I could.
We'll get rid of that, that's for after the show. Blimey, indeed. Yes. Now we need to warm everyone up because it's been a long night. Now there's no technique in show business, and that's basically to separate the audience up, and that's where we're going. But we're going to try low-level mind reading first. Ooh. Low-level mind. Yeah, you've got to have low-level enthusiasm for that. So it's more sort of ooh. Okay. So low-level mind reading. Fantastic. As we step it up, then the enthusiasm increases. Now I've left the missus at home tonight because frankly she's seen the rehearsals for this, and I've also left the kids. I've brought a picture of my kids with me. There they are, beautiful. Come on, you may as well laugh now. It doesn't get any better. Mind you, it can't get much worse. Seriously, we've never met before, have we, sir? I'd like to think of a number between 1 and 10. Okay, have you got one? Yeah, amazing, number 1. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. We're getting there. We're warming up. Hey, this is mind reading, ladies and gentlemen. This day, it's a gift. It's a curse sometimes, but it is a gift. This gentleman here, I'd like you to imagine that you have got... in fact, no, let's try this first. I have written down a word, or rather I printed it, okay? One word only. Have you any idea what that word could be? Be honest.
No.
No! Fantastic! No! Amazing! A psychic phenomenon. No, on a serious note, I have actually printed a word on the back of this. So what I'd like the gentleman there to do is imagine you've got a dictionary, okay? Open that dictionary, then point with your finger down, so just imagine doing it, okay? Open the dictionary, point your finger down, find one word in your imaginary dictionary, yeah? Think of that clearly, okay? If it was on the back of this, would you be amazed? To be honest, we're not setting this up. In fact, you all go mad with applause, wouldn't you, ladies and gentlemen? If this was it, well, get ready because that's it! I know, it's the no beginning to this man's talent. I'll tell you what, let's pick something out. The lady here. Name any No. We need to warm up more. The gentleman here. Imagine you've gone into your favourite supermarket, okay? Think of the name of the supermarket. Is that Asda? It wasn't. What was it? I need to get a vibe with you.
Sainsbury's.
Sainsbury's? Oh, posh. Okay, that's right in the front there. So, imagine you're walking down the aisle in Sainsbury's, okay? Only you in your mind's eye know what aisle you're on. And then I'd like to reach up at the shelf, grab an item off the shelf, and then out loud, so everybody knows, tell us what it is that you've just pulled off the shelf at Sainsbury's.
Runny honey.
Runny honey. I'm sure there's a story behind that somewhere. Would you be amazed if I'd actually predicted runny honey from Sainsbury's? You would, wouldn't you?
Oh, astonished.
Well, be ready to be amazed, because, ladies and gentlemen, that is indeed a barcode for runny honey from Sainsbury's. Okay, we're warming up now. We're getting the vibe. Let's try one more. Let's try and do this a little bit more seriously. I'd like to name the lady there. A name, first celebrity that comes into your mind.
Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell. Now, you know, I will explain as we go along tonight how some of this stuff is actually done. I was kind of banking, hopefully, that with this weekend, having been the launch of Britain's Got Talent starting again on TV, that your environment gets into your head. There's been a lot of media publicity. Today, Simon Cowell was in the newspaper. Apparently someone broke into his house. He found a mad woman in his house. Then he realised it wasn't Sunita, it was actually someone who broke into the house. Move around and tell people what's funny. So Simon Cowell, entirely free choice.
Yeah.
Would you be amazed if I had a picture of Simon Cowell in this envelope?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be amazed, because that is Mr. Simon Cowell when he was a baby. No, don't clap on your own, somebody will throw you a fish. I know what you're thinking. What if she'd said Michael Jackson? Don't worry, I thought about that. I brought one of them as well. Although actually, thinking about what Michael did, could have worked either way, really, couldn't it? And what if she'd have said Jackie Chan? Don't worry, I had a picture of him when he was 2. Right there. But actually, there is only one picture left in this envelope. This has been leading somewhere. One picture, and one picture only, left inside this envelope. The lady who just named a celebrity, you had an entirely free choice. We didn't set anything up. That's correct, isn't it? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell. Oh yes, things are warming up now. Now we just need to make it sound like we've got a huge audience of people. So what we're going to do is warm you up on the clapping stakes. So what we're going to do is split you up first. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4 ladies in the rest of men, so it is a little bit unfair, admittedly, but I'm sure the ladies can make up for that. So first we'll see how wonderfully the men as a whole can clap on the count of 3. So 1, 2, 3. Not bad. Sounded a bit like putting the chips in, but not bad. And this time, let's see. Now the thing is, the ladies may have less in their team. However, they do have one advantage. They've already heard what level of effort you guys put in, so they can make more of an effort. So on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, ladies! Fantastic. Now, if we put all that together later, because we're going to be encouraging people to come up and volunteer, then hopefully when we put the men with the women, it should work really well. So let's try it out on the count of 3. Everyone together. 1, 2, 3, now! We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Now, just try one more thing. I'm going to split you down the middle. So right in the centre of you two at the front, yeah? So from John onwards, this side of the room, side A, this side of the room, side B. So side A on the count of 3. Loud as you can. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. And you know what you've got to beat now. So, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Fantastic. So at the end, if we actually manage to get some of these experiments right, especially when we ask for volunteers to come up, because without volunteers to come up in a few months' time, there would be nobody's minds to actually read. When I do ask you to give them a round of applause, please do encourage them. Now, can I just ask, has anyone here tonight in the room got with them a mobile telephone that's actually showing as though it's got a reception in here? Mine shows that it's got a reception, so I do know it's definitely possible to get a reception in here. Yeah? And would either of you know somebody who, in a moment, if I was to ask you to come up on stage, you could actually ring at this time of night and explain to them that you're at a show and there's this strange guy with strange powers who wants them to select some things over the telephone? Yeah, fantastic. Somebody with real friends. They'll leave it till the next time he sees them to explain what was that all about. In that case, I'd like you to come up with your mobile phone, sir, and give that gentleman a huge round of applause. You made his way across the stage. You can take a seat just for a moment, sir. We'll come to you in just a couple of moments' time. I've got here a deck of cards. I've already got elastic bands around them. It just makes it that little bit easier. Otherwise, you'll see we'll be playing 52 card pickle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw these cards out into the audience. When you catch them, or pick them up from wherever they may land, what I'd like you to do is pick them up, place them flat on your hand, that's so the faces are down on your hand, and then just take a little peek at one card, remember it, and when you've done that, pass the cards to somebody else. And we're going to do that 3 times. So just because it's easiest for me, because you're nearby, I'm going to pass the cards to you. Just place them flat on your hand, okay? Look at one card, remember it, then close the cards together. And then if you'd like to pass the cards to somebody in the centre area of the room, that would be great. A few seconds, put them flat on your hand, look at one card, remember it, then close the cards. That's brilliant. If you could pass them to somebody on this side of the room, the lady there, just put them flat on your hand, look at one card, remember that, and then throw the cards up here, back to the stage, on the count of 3. Oh, never mind. We'll just get rid of them. They're now totally not required. The three people who just looked at cards, if you could stand up where you are, that would be fantastic. Please do not tell anyone what card it is that you have currently got, that you looked at, that you're remembering in your mind. This is your time for your friend to come into play. I'd like you to ring up somebody. Sometimes we have to do this twice because the person's not in or something. But if you could just ring somebody and explain to them, you're at a show and in a moment they're going to speak to Jonathan Royle, who's just going to explain to them what's going to happen over the next 60 seconds.
Hello, mate, you okay? I'm at the show and I'm speaking to Marty. We're in the middle of the show. And,
What's his name?
Jog.
Jog.
Jog. J-O-G.
Jog. A round of applause for Jog.
I told you I hate to, so.
Hey. Have a quick word with Jog?
Yeah, I'm going to hand you over to Jonathan Royle.
Hi, Jog. I'm fantastic. Thank you very much indeed for picking the phone up. I know it's really bizarre at this time of the evening. What's going to happen is I'm going to hand you back to your friend in a minute. He's going to ask you to name some playing cards, okay? All right, okay. And then when he's going to ask you for some more playing cards, and then you basically just going to ask you for a couple more playing cards, and that's it. And thank you very much indeed in advance. I'm going to pass you back over. Already given us one, so you can just ask him for 2 more playing cards and then write them down there. Don't say them out loud, though. Just write them down.
Can you give me the name of 2 cards?
But don't say them out loud.
Yeah, do the first one. Okay, the one. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Round of applause for John. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Can you just confirm there the cards that he told you on the phone, yeah?
Yep.
They are indeed. Give this gentleman a round of applause. It goes back to the audience. Okay. So 3 people in the room have randomly looked at a card. Jog on the... Where's Jog, by the way, when you rang him?
He was in his flat.
Which is...
Broughton.
Broughton. So it's a fair distance from here. It's safe to say it's not cabled up to us or anything like that. There's no hidden cameras transmitting to Jog's home. In fact, I couldn't have known who you were going to ring. We've now got names of 3 playing cards. I'm going to read these out. I want you to remain standing where you are at the moment, okay? Don't say a word. Don't indicate whether we're right or not at this moment, because I'm going to come to you individually. But the 3 cards that we've got, courtesy of John, are the 2 of hearts, the 10 of clubs, and the 9 of clubs. That's the 2 of hearts, the 10 of clubs, and the 9 of clubs. The lady here, if you heard your card, then sit down now and everyone will go mad with applause. The lady over here, if you heard your card, sit down, everyone will go mad with applause. And this is where you all warm up together. If you heard your card, sir, please sit down right now. Well, we have a miracle! Tremendous! Well, I just have to remind myself that this is a completely... Oh yes, this is the point where it might be an idea to give out predictions, otherwise people might think I've somehow surreptitiously switched them or changed them some way through the show. So Jeanette, I'm going to give that. If you'd like to keep hold of that, we'll come to it a little bit later on, and I'll give this gentleman over here, if I can just give you that, to keep hold of. That's fantastic. Please don't open it yet. They will become very, very, very relevant in a few moments' time. Cool. Well, I was talking about the Britain's Got Talent a little bit earlier, and it started again on Saturday, and then Simon Cowell's got all these other shows like The X Factor. And everyone these days seems to want to be a bloody celebrity, don't they? You've got Big Brother, you've got all these celebrity game shows, reality shows, and it's one thing after another. BBC are trying to do the same as well. And apparently the height of being a celebrity is to have your name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Engraved in the concrete, in gold. Now, as you can see, this is blank at the moment, because as yet, we don't know which 5 of you are going to be our stars tonight. So, For now, what we will do is we'll just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll move them slightly forward, just to give that a little bit more room. Like so. Fantastic. Okay. Let's see. Going to need 5 people. So can we have a show of hands who'd be prepared to volunteer now, rather than being picked on? If you volunteer, it looks a lot braver. Okay, we've got 2 there, number 3, number 4, number 5. Okay, what we'll do is we'll go from left to right, so you can stay sat where you are at the moment. Give this gentleman, you've just been on stage, but make your way back to the stage, everyone will go mad with applause. What's your name, sir? Gary, nice to meet you, Gary. What I'd like you to do is just stand about there, under the 10-ton weight, that's perfect. No, seriously, just look at me, okay? I'm going to ask you a couple of really odd questions, just so I can get a feeling about you. If you had a plate of egg, sausage and peas in front of you, what would you go for first? The egg, the sausage and peas?
The sausage.
The sausage. You like a bit of sausage, Gary, okay. This is fine. In which case, I'm going to go with that. Okay, there's 5 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Just made a prediction. Now, you stood in the middle, so you may choose to be lazy and remain there, or you may choose to think, well, I positioned you kind of that way by standing where I did. So you may choose to go to the far end that way or the far end this way. But bear in mind, when you make your decision, you've got more choice than anyone else who's about to come up on the stage, because you've got 5 positions that you could choose to go into, which means you've got that choice of standing over there. So that hopefully the next person will stand over here, thus meaning you avoid that bus situation where the nutter comes and sits down next to you. You know, I always get that. So what I'd like you to do is literally make your choice now and go and stand behind one of the 5 stars. Okay, fantastic. In which case, volunteer number 2, wasn't it? Did you say? No, we went to this lady. This lady, give this lady a round of applause. She makes her way towards the stage. And your name, darling, is? Rayoni, nice to meet you. I'm going to ask you a strange question again, but if you'd like to look at that picture behind you. On that plate there is egg, sausage and peas. Now, as you look at the sauce, that's the red bit, I'll give you a clue. Do you prefer red sauce or brown sauce? You need to look at me low when you answer.
Red.
You do? So I predicted that in advance. Thank you, there, John. That bit comes through. Red. Okay. And if you had to pick the egg, the sausage or the peas, which would you go for first?
The sausage.
The sausage. Oh, everyone likes a bit of sausage tonight. Okay, well that tells me, just look at me, Ryan. I think I'm going to go with that. Okay, you've got a choice of only 4 spaces because space number 2 from the left to right audience view has already been taken. So if you could choose your position on the Walk of Fame right now, taking the first one. Okay. Volunteer number 3, give this gentleman a round of applause for the next place to walk the stage. And your name, sir, is?
John.
Nice to meet you, John. What I'd like you to do, John, is, again, you've seen the picture. This is going to be really strange if you say sausage, but if that is truly your answer, you've got to answer honestly. Which would you go for first, the egg, the sausage, or the peas?
I'll go for the egg.
Go for the egg?
Yeah.
Oh, it's throwing a bit of variety into things. Okay, I think in that case I'll go for that one. Actually, no I won't. Thank God this has got rubber on it. And no, I'm not making any jokes about sausages there. I'll actually go for that one. Okay. What I'd like to do, John, you've basically got the 2 that you stood nearby and the one on the far end. If you'd like to now make your choice of where on the star, Walk of Fame.
I'll stay
Are you behind that one, yeah?
I'll
Just
go to the
your feet up. Okay, fantastic. Our next volunteer. Well, they give this lady a round of applause. And your name, my darling, is? Kathy. Is that pronounced right?
No, it's New Zealand pronunciation. K-A-T-H-Y.
K-A-T-H-Y. So it's like Kathy, but Kathy.
Yes, in a New Zealand accent.
Can I call you Kay?
You can call me whatever.
All right, Kay, thank you, because that way I'm not going to keep cocking it up.
Don't mind.
Egg, sausage, peas, which would you go for first? You go for... Well, that was going to be a party in the bar afterwards. Okay, that doesn't give me too much of a clue. Okay, the words egg, sausage and peas at the top. Eggs in yellow, sausage in brown, peas in green. Forget about it being egg, sausage and peas. Which of those three colours would you pick first?
Green.
The green. Okay. I'll go with... Yeah, I'll definitely commit to that. If you'd like to pick one of the final two positions that's left, you're making life easy on yourself and just go in there.
Yeah.
Which means I don't even need to ask the next person a question, because that, if I get the others right, means I only have one choice left for that. So, volunteer. Number 5, give me a round of applause. And as much as you've been forced to where you're going, what's your name, sir?
Ian.
Ian, nice to meet you. Okay, so 5 of you from the audience, you've randomly, in most occasions, except for Ian, who's been forced into this, but we're going to give you some choice in a few moments' time, picked a position on the stage. Now, to be a true celebrity, you need to have done something, allegedly. Well, these days it doesn't seem to matter. So I've got a selection of celebrities here. David Beckham, the footballer, the Queen, who frankly I think she should be on the judging panel for Britain's Got Talent. Because after all, she's the one who's going to sit through the unadulterated shite that they bought on every year. Ozzy Osbourne, Simon Cowell, Elvis Presley, the king himself, and Kylie Minogue. Now, as you may have noticed, there are 6 celebrities here. We have only 5 people up on the stage. As you were last to be selected and therefore have the least choice in the matter, I'm going to hand you all 6 celebrities. What I'd like you to do is give them a mix-up. Face down.
Right.
Just because I don't want you to be influenced by the males as opposed to the females, the good-looking ones as opposed to the ugly, the talented as opposed to the overpaid. And then I'd like you to pick any one of those celebrity masks and pass the rest along.
No, that's not the one. Is it not? No. Yeah. No.
Yeah, are you going for a particular... Just take one. You're trying to find a particular celebrity. No. Give them a mix. Take one celebrity and then pass them along. And I think you've got the idea now. Give them a mix, pick a celebrity. This time it's going to be Royle that has no choice at the end. Well, actually, you will have a choice this time because there are 6 there in total and only 5 of you on the stage to make it interesting. Fantastic. And you finally got 2 there, so give them a mix. And eliminate one of them. So we've got rid of, for tonight, the Queen. She doesn't get to choose again. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Okay, this is the point where I'd like you to each reveal which celebrity you are and pop your mask on. That's it. Pop your mask on. Let's see who we've got. Kylie Minogue at the end here. Then we've got David Beckham, Simon Cowell. Oddly enough, in the centre, as he always is. It's like a strange element of synchronicity. Ozzy Osbourne and Elvis Presley. But the thing is, you didn't know which celebrities you were going to be when you came up here and chose the positions to be in. That's freaky, this is. It really is. It is truly freaky looking at these people. So, just as they do at the start of the X Factor and various other judging shows, they have that battle of the judges where they decide and they stamp their authority on what's happening. So tonight is really interesting. I want you to mix up when the music begins. Right now, I want you to actually change places so you end up stood somewhere else. I didn't envisage this when I was thinking this through, how strange it is to look at all these celebrities on stage. We've got David Beckham, the footballer. I've forgotten even where you were to start with, to be honest. So this is slightly bizarrely out of order, but we'll give you that one. Nonetheless, hold on to that, keep your flag against your chest, we'll come to that very shortly. This is freaking me out. We've got Simon Cowell. Simon, which one? Not that one, that one. That one there. Fantastic, hold that against your chest. Fantastic, Karen, way! Health and safety officer didn't warn me about that. It's not a joke, he is actually a health and safety officer. Kylie Minogue, like you hold that against your chest, nice and flat. This is freaky. We've got Elvis Presley and Ozzy Osbourne over there, which is really freaking me out, hold that against your chest. And Ozzy Osbourne, who is smiling at me in a really awkward, disturbing way. Can you put that against your chest? We're going to come to each of you in turn in a moment, but the thing is, can I just double check one more time by a shout of yes, if it's true, that we've not set anything up beforehand, have we?
No.
That's correct. And that yes, it was a free choice where you've stood initially, and where you've ended up right now? Yeah? Okay, we're going to start with David. Can you see me through that, David? Just. Okay, I'll tell you what, if you'd like to, you can just pop your mask off. For now, David, we'll come to you first. Look at the envelope, because beforehand, I'd like you to read out the statement, and I clearly underlined one particular judge. I'd like to read out what that envelope therefore says first. So, nice and loud right now.
Red is the favourite colour of celebrity judge David Beckham.
We got David Beckham. But however, open your envelope, take out the coloured card. Hold that against your chest. This will become really, really relevant in a moment. Simon, take your mask off. Fantastic. We've got a bit of a statement on that envelope, and then I've clearly marked a celebrity. Could you read out that statement and the celebrity name that I predicted?
Orange is the favourite colour of celebrity judge Simon Cowell.
Could you open the envelope, take out the card you've got inside? We've got orange. Okay. So far, so good. Kylie, could you take your mask off? Thank you. Kylie, could you look? You've got a statement, I clearly underlined. Could you read out honestly what is on there?
Yellow is the favourite colour of celebrity judge Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue, could you open the envelope and please show everyone that that is, hopefully, it is indeed yellow. And then can we go to Elvis Presley? Elvis.
Green is the favourite colour of celebrity judge Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley.
Green.
Green is. And finally, oh, I'll take your mask off. Finally, can we go to Ozzy Osbourne? Should hopefully have a statement, and yeah, one particularly marked.
Blue is the favourite colour of celebrity judge Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne, could you open that, show us that that is indeed blue? But everyone's probably thinking, if they think that through, well, hang on a minute. There's nothing actually particularly impressive about that, because I gave you the envelopes with the names that I'd marked when you had the masks on, after you moved. So actually, we've not predicted anything. And something tells me this is either going to clearly work or it isn't. We'll start with you with David Beckham, yeah? David, could you pick up your Walk of Fame star so it's facing the audience? Oh, bugger! No, this is going to be so wrong, it's unreal, because when you turn that round, it should match in colour, and it's not going to do. No! In fact, it's not going to do here either. What's going to happen? Just pick up your things. This is the weirdest. If this has happened the way I think it has, then lift up the ones that are on the floor, lift up the ones that you've got. Yeah? Red, wrong end, blue, wrong end. It's totally the reverse order on the floor, which in itself is slightly spooky and more than odds would dictate, but isn't correct. So give them a round of applause. Basically, we got it the totally wrong way around. My fault. I'll tell you what, no. Let's try and redeem us. That's disturbing, because I really don't know. Strange. What I'd like to do, think of a letter in the alphabet. Any letter, and just write it down there. If you'd be so kind. Yeah? Nice and quick, the first one that comes into your mind. Write down a letter of the alphabet, the first one that comes into your mind. Right now, the letter, I'm still wondering. And one final letter. Thank you very much. Brilliant. We will come to them very shortly. Fantastic. Let's take this gentleman here, sir. I'd like you to take a seat. In fact, let's do it with John. Would you mind sitting down? Let's get John to sit down. Take a seat, John. If this gentleman could... Oh, you're John as well, are you?
No, not you.
All right, yeah. This John, sit down.
Cheers.
Would you like to just move around slightly to this side? Okay. Because I'll tell you what it is. Now that I've got that totally the reverse way around, so the red was where the blue was where the red was, I'm actually a little bit miffed and a little bit stressed and thinking, am I reading people right? And the thing is, emotions affect us in life. I'd like to just place that on. Fear, stress, worry, guilt. They're all just words made up of letters, which we've got people to randomly write some down. And they do affect us all. Fear stands for false evidence against reality. It puts us off doing things in life. It stops us achieving dreams. It's the thought thing, a block. Stress makes us angry. Worry, it distracts our minds. And it can weigh us down. These negative emotions can weigh us down. They can zap our energy away. What I'd like you to do, everyone, is sort of place your arms out in front of you like this. Just interlock your fingers, so the fingers of the left hand are against the back of the right hand, the fingers of the right hand against the back of the left hand, thumbs down on top of them, stick your four fingers out like that. That's brilliant. What I'd like to do is, I'm just going to, purely from a sort of, it should work height-wise, I'm going to bring Royle in just about there. Can I bring you in, my darling, to about here? This gentleman, I'm going to bring you forward ever so slightly if I can, so you're in line with knees, and I'd like to move you, sir, if I can, here. In a few moments' time, what I'm going to ask you to do is place your fingertips underneath like that, underneath his knees, yeah? Can you see that, the people at the front? And the people at the back, you're going to place your fingers underneath the arm area, like that, okay? And you then let your arms, obviously, sink down. So if you can get into position now, just as you've come up on this stage, with all that fear, stress, worry, and all the things of everyday life holding you back, just try to lift John now. Just notice how difficult that is. It's really difficult, yeah? Okay. So please, take your signs off. Let's remove that fear, stress, worry, guilt away from you. Let's get rid of it. Because they're negative, they're just words, they're just thoughts, they're just ideas. It doesn't have to be that way. You can change things as quickly in your life as that, just by using different words, different thoughts, different ideas. Positive ones. We all want to feel loved. We want to feel that we're relaxed, we're happy in life, that we've got inner courage, that we can make things happen. They are just words, and yet those words can take on emotions and ideas within us straight away. So it's almost as though it absorbs into you. Almost as though right now, all that negative stuff of life is just gone. And you've got that inner strength within you. So, put your hands out in front of you. Hands together. Fingers out, stretched like that. Get a little bit closer, get in position so you can kneel down. People at the back under the armpits. Fantastic. Get ready. Under the knees. Under the knees. Whoa, the chair's gone.
Stop.
Let's have another chair.
Just to do, no, just the chair's just gone down there.
All right. There. I thought we had a broken chair then. Okay? Everyone in positions, hands. Okay, remember, you're loved, you're relaxed, happy, courage. Feel all those feelings inside. On the count of three, just go with it. 1, 2, 3, and lift. Now you can lift. Ooh, a little bit more. Lifting, yes, yes, yes. Actually, we got him off the chair. Give him a round of applause. That was better than the first time. Give me those words back, if you won't mind, because they are positive words and it made an immediate change. There's no doubt in that. And obviously, the more you put positivity into your life, the more those changes become permanent and positive. But the more positive words we use, and orange, incidentally, is a mixture of red and yellow, the most powerful colours. When you focus on something enough and really believe, then dreams do come true. They can come true for you. Too many people give up on the dreams in life. But when you believe, it's just like the lady whose child's had an accident and the car is there and on fire, and suddenly, from nowhere, she gets this inner strength and go up to the car and lift the car up and save her child. because obviously her dream is for a child to survive. She focuses on it, and that becomes her reality. And so it is that when we believe, when we believe that anything is possible, come in closer, feet together, fantastic, come in closer, get ready in position, do you know what you're feeling now? Get in, kneel down, get in position there, get in position there. 1, 2, 3, and breathe for true, believe it, you're going higher, 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 yes, hold it, and down. Yes, indeed, the impossible becomes possible. Give these people a huge round of applause as they take the signs off. I'm going to leave you with that thought. You can indeed achieve whatever you want to achieve in life. Thank you very much as all 5 of them make the way back to the audience. Thank you very much indeed, Ellie. Thank you. And I'm sure John will not mind me saying he is not something 6-stone weakling like I am. There was a very noticeable different change there. Cool. We are actually getting somewhere warmed up. Now this is, oh no. Oh dear. Oh no. Please don't tell me. No. You're going to realise why I'm saying that in a couple of moments' time. This isn't part of the show, this is me actually honestly thinking to myself, ladies and gentlemen, okay, why? Why have I chosen to do this? I don't know. Strange. Well, you'll see why I'm getting nervous in a minute. And why everyone else in here should have good reason to be nervous, surely. And actually, I'll do this first. I'll do this. Get interested. We haven't set anything up, so the gentlemen there are 7 days in a week. Just name a day of the week. Tuesday. I'm just going to write this down so that we've got it to refer to later if, for any reason, it should be needed as a reminder. So you pick Tuesday. There are the gentleman over here. There's 12 months in the year, January through to December. Pick a month.
December.
December. What day of December?
2nd.
2nd of December. Okay, I'm going to make a note here because that way we can remind everyone at the end what was randomly picked. So Tuesday, the 2nd of December. John, a time. Morning or night or afternoon, it's up to you, but a time.
As an exact time.
Yeah.
7:11 a.m.
7:11 a.m. Again, we'll make a note, we'll keep hold of that. So that we've got it later on. That will all make sense in the next few moments after we reach that intimidating piece of furniture over there. Okay, I need one. I think the lady there, if you'd like to stand up. I'd like you to imagine you're at Manchester Airport, okay? You're going on holiday. But as you're going on holiday at the airport, you notice there's a lot of photographers flashing the camera. And that's because there is a celebrity at the airport. Don't say anything out loud, but think of a celebrity name. Tell me when you've done that. Just think of one, the name of a celebrity. Have you got one in mind? Okay, try and transmit that to me, please. First of all, think if it's male or female, because that's really going to make all the difference to whether I'm able to do this or no, I may cross that left. No, it's alright. Okay, you actually get up the courage to walk over to this celebrity. And they've got a bit of time to kill before their flight. So they take you into the first class lounge. And in the first class lounge, you discover that they've got this karaoke bar. And they get up, the both of you, and you sing a song together, a ridiculous one. So if it's a singer that you thought of, don't think of one of their hits. Think of something really ridiculous, okay? Think of that, and when you've got it in mind, please just imagine singing. Yeah? Yeah, I think this is a bit ridiculous, actually. Yeah, the smile indicates it is a bit ridiculous. Okay, and this first class lounge, they all have Ponzi names. Well, I said they have Ponzi names. They all, quite often at the major airports like Manchester, you know, they're inside hotels. So think of a hotel name, any hotel. Think of that. And yeah, I'm going to commit to that. I'm going to commit to that. You can take a seat for now. We'll come back to that in a minute. Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, this part of the show comes with a warning. A very clear warning. Do not, whatever you do not try this at home. Under any circumstances. Because when you go home, either starting to Twitter and Facebook saying about the major horrendous accident that took place tonight, or when you're twittering what a nut job Jonathan Royle was, remember, and I hope this doesn't happen tonight, how ridiculously wrong this can go. This is why you should not try this at home, or in fact anywhere. Can we have the video, please? Okay, now there's no... Can have a bit of background music. Just watch the screen. Remember that under one of those cuts, each and every clip you're going to see, there is either a spike or a name. Just watch the clips and find out why you should never try this at all. Do not try this at home. Russian roulette has been played for many years as a game, or a punishment for some. Often they say life can be as futile as a roll of the dice. Someone else can hold your life, your destiny, in their hands. A nail. You just confirm that is indeed. Yeah? A nail that could end up in any of those 6 positions. And to that end, I need, this is why I was nervous, I need 2 volunteers. I'm going to ask my friend Chris, purely and simply, not because it's got anything to do with it, just because if this goes wrong, he can very quickly carry me off the stage and take me to hospital. Chris, could you come up? Everyone will give you a round of applause. And I'm going to, if you could just stay there for a moment, Chris, that's wonderful. Whenever I attend this, it always makes me think of my grandma. I know she used to like to see me perform, or she'd probably give me a clip round the ear if she was here tonight. I'm going to ask this gentleman here if you'd just like to stand up and just come here. Everyone will give you a round of applause. I've got various numbered cards, you can see. There's a wide selections of number 1s, number 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s and 6s. We'll place them down there. What I'm going to ask you to do on the count of 3, just come in and cut the cards, lift them up, bring them towards yourself so I can't see. Remember what number is on the card you've got. You've got to be honest with me on this when I ask you questions, okay? Don't tell me the number, but you've got to be honest. Look at it and then put the cards back together so I can't possibly know. So I'll turn my back, 1, 2, 3, just come and cut them and lift them up, look at that number, remember it, put the cards back down so only you know what that number is. The audience don't know, you know, we can get rid of them. You're going to need that tray in a minute. We have a spike, we have 6 cups. You've got a number in mind. If you'd like to take a position behind what I call affectionately the table of doom. I know what you're thinking, it may look like a Wilkinson's value range Black & Decker workmate bench with a Wilkinson's value range shelf attached to the top. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't make you mind readers, it just means you can recognise products from Wilkinson's when you see them. Because that's exactly what they are. Chris, if you could hold the other end of this cloth. I'm going to face forward, and Chris, I want you to face forward because I do not want anyone to know where that spike's going. I'd like you to place the spike on the base, yeah, that corresponds with the number that you've randomly selected. So if you looked at number 3, put the spike on base number 3. If you looked at number 4, put it there. Obviously, depending on which number it was, will depend on where you put the spike. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then when you've done that, can you place the corresponding numbered cup? So if you put the spike in position 6, say, it will need cup number 6 over it. Does that make sense? And then please put the other cups in order so that they're in their positions. So cup 1's where cup 1 should be, cup 2 where cup 2, cup 3, cup 4, cup 5, cup 6. So we end up with 6 cups over the bases so that they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in order, so there's no clues as to which cup has got that spike under.
Okay.
And can you tell me when you've done that?
Yes.
Okay, put that down. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Make your way back to the audience, give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Oh, in fact, don't. No, please, come back. You know why? Because if I use Chris for this next bit, people will think it's set up. Underneath, could you take a position behind here?
Yeah.
Underneath one of these cups, okay, which I wrote on before, you've got the numbers. Oh, you did that beautifully and neat and lined them up. Cup number 1, cup number 2, cup number 3, cup number 4, 5 or 6. One of them is the one to avoid. Do not try this at home. What I'd like you to do, pick up the dice. Throw it on the tray. What number have we got?
6.
Let the madness begin. dice, sometimes life is literally a roll of the dice. Roll the dice! We got 5. We got 5. 4. My grandma would have killed me if she saw that. She would absolutely have gone mad. Because before I end tonight, ladies and gentlemen, thankfully not in casualty, before I end tonight, I'd like to tell you just a little bit about my grandma and also my daughter, which is why I need to get into that case over there. But before we do, technically it's 10 o'clock. Are we alright for 10 minutes, everyone? Yeah, cool. Then I won't cut anything out, that's even better. ESP has been tested for many, many years using these little things down here. ESP cards, which you can also see, conveniently, we do have a full set. The crosses, the circles, the wavy lines over here, and finally, over here, we have the squares. 2 matching pairs of 5 ESP cards. Now I want to make this as totally fair as can possibly, humanly be possible. So, we are going to name the positions A. Yeah. And I know what you're thinking, the post-it notes, you don't need sellotape. Trust me, in rehearsals, not only did I get the colours right on the first thing, but also, all the post-it notes kept falling off the case. So I figured, add some sellotape. There we go. Because I want this to be totally fair throughout. We're going to try, not me, you're going to try to make the last 2 cards match in the most ridiculously random of ways. So we'll start with the gentleman there. Would you like me to pick up pile A or pile B? Bearing in mind at the moment these are basically 2 identical piles, but you said B, which is this side for me, cool. I'll place that on there then. Now, just say stop.
Stop.
Okay, we'll put the cards there. Get this done a couple more times. Rayoni, just say stop.
Stop.
Okay. Perhaps even John.
Stop.
Okay. Gentleman there. Okay. And perhaps one more time, just so we've got a definite, I don't know what order they're in, neither do any of us.
Stop.
Show you up there. I was about to go the next card, but okay. Fair and clear, so you can see there's no sleight of hand. This is purely an experiment. It may not work, as you found out at the beginning. Sometimes experiments don't work. Well, thank fuck that one did. My wife will let me go home tonight. Trust me, she gave me grief. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, pile B, 5 cards, pile A. From here on in, that is pile B, as he says, that's pile A. We're going to try and make the last 2 cards match by you randomly mixing them as we go along. So we're going to go, just because it makes life easy, across in order. So the gentleman we started with, you want me to pick up pile A or B?
A.
A. I'm going to spell the word make, okay, which is M-A-K-E. For each letter, I'm going to place a card underneath the pile. At any time you want me to stop, you can say stop, and I will put down the pile I'm holding and pick up the other pile, and continue with that pile until we spell the word. Does that make sense? And I'm going to do that with everyone. So you wanted to start with A, so the letter, the word make is M, A, K,
Stop.
E. Totally random. We'll get rid of these. We don't need them at all. The music stands falling apart. Would you like pile A or B?
A.
A. We're going to make the, so it's the. T, H,
Stop.
E. Make the. We don't need these because remember, to get them all in one night completely right, let's not even try that. This is about if you can manage to get the final 2 to match. So really, A or B?
A.
A. Make the, so we're on to cards. C, A, R,
Stop.
D, S. Make the cards. And I've discovered there's a little gadget on these music stands that I never knew about, that I didn't notice in rehearsal. Weird bit that flicks up. This is good at finding out before the theatre too. John, A or B?
A.
M. Make the cards so it's match. M. M.
M.
Again,
No, on first one.
or do you want me to? Alright, M, A. T,
Stop.
C,
Stop.
H. Now, unless I'd set something up with everyone, and even then, to be frank, you all randomly mix these up as well, so that I couldn't possibly know. If we manage this, it will frankly be a miracle. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. We've got a circle. So what we're hoping for is a circle. If we have got a circle, I will give you a huge round of applause, everyone. And I'm sure you'll give each other a huge round of applause because you will manage to somehow, randomly, through that madness, make the cards match. Well done. Tremendous. I should have got you up at the beginning to do the things with the colours. Apparently that would have worked better. Right, what we're going to do now, oh yes, my daughter. When I go home tonight, she's going to say to me, Daddy, she's only 2.5. She's at that age, and when I was leaving the house, she said to me, Daddy, where are you going? I said, Daddy's going to make pennies. And she goes, for Ashley, for sweeties, and I always have to say, yeah. Now after the show, I know, it's going to be like nearly 10:30 by the time I get downstairs, but I'm going to have to ring up my wife, and the chances are that Ashley will be up pestering her to speak to Daddy, and she won't go to bed until I've said goodnight to her. This is what always happens. It's cool. As parents amongst you, I'm sure, will be able to testify. And she'll probably say to me on the phone, she'll say to me, Daddy, were they a really, really, really good audience tonight? And I'll say, you know what, darling? They really, really were. And she'll say, or Mummy will help her to say, in some cases, did they do lots of clapping and screaming at the right times? And I'll say, you know what, darling? They did. And then she'll be like, oh, I love you, Daddy, and all that. And then she'll go, Daddy, did they at the end of the show, when you said goodnight and went to the dressing room and then to the bar to socialise with people, did they, stand up when they were clapping? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you wouldn't want to let down a 2.5-year-old young girl, would you? Bear that in mind at the end of the show. But seriously, this is inspired by my daughter. Because when I was young, my dad had what they call, you know, the video book. Did you ever have that when we had videos? And you recorded loads of stuff on VHS tape at home. And when we had the first video I had, it was one of those top loaders, big clunky thing, and you close it. And generally speaking, a lot of the stuff you tape over again and again, but there was the odd thing you'd keep, and you'd have the special tapes that you kept stuff on. Well, my dad used to write down that, like on Bassaf tape marked A with the sticker, there was all these episodes of things, because it was long playing. You got 8 hours on a 4-hour tape. So we actually had a guide telling him what tape had what stuff on, and what had free space for deleting. See some people nodding, some people remember this. Now these days we've got DVDs. My daughter, she goes bonkers for DVDs, especially because we've got her a little, the only way we could get her to go to bed, really, a couple of years back was to put nursery rhymes and stuff, DVDs on, in her bedroom on a little portable DVD player. And now as it's gone on, there's more and more different characters that she likes. There's so many characters these days. Kipper the dog, Thomas the Tank Engine, Scooby-Doo, Sooty, Dora the Explorer. I could be here all night, but you get the general idea. There's a heck of a lot of cartoon characters, TV characters, film characters, and they're trying to make money out of the kids. Well, out of us as parents, obviously. But we made this book up so that when Ashley wants a DVD and she can't make up her mind, she'll go to the book, or at least she doesn't use it as much now because she can get a new set of teeth, she can talk quite a bit. Or she'll sing from one of the songs, so sometimes she'll go, donkey, 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 and we know it's... my missus told me last night, Shrek 2, I think, as opposed to Shrek 1, because that bit's in the film. But we used to get her to point at the picture of what DVD she wanted. And we keep all of those next to each other, all the Peppa Pigs next to each other, so that then we could take her to the Peppa Pig area, or reach her up if they were high on the shelf, and she'd pull out the one she wanted. And that way it stopped her going mad in bed. It was a great system. And let's try this out here tonight. That may sound a little bit bizarre, but I'm going to have to get some volunteers again, so can I ask, in fact we'll borrow Alistair, can we borrow a car at the back, just so we've got somebody different. It doesn't look like I'm picking on all the same people at the same time. Can I have somebody from the back over there, perhaps, please? Can't see. The gentleman here, yeah, that's brilliant. And this gentleman here as well. Give these 4 people a round of applause as they make their way towards the stage. Fantastic. And if you could just make a nice line near the front, because you are in show business now. This is fantastic. And I just need you to be honest with me. We're going to come to that in a minute, so just put that there. We recently, just before she started talking a heck of a lot, we started to add a bit of randomness to the game, because she got to the point where she was saying, I want Peppa Pig, and we put Peppa Pig on, and then the moment it started, she'd go, no, I want Kipper the dog. And you put Kipper the dog on, and then she'd go, I want Peppa Pig. So we came up with this randomness way of selecting a DVD for her, and made it into a game, so that then she would stick with that DVD, because even she didn't know what it was until we got to the DVD book. Let's try this. We've got number cards, by the way. eBay, wonderful, for keeping kids quiet. Just say stop. Stop. Just stop there on number 3. You didn't, just take that one. Keep it against your chest for now. We'll come to it in a minute. Just say stop. Stop. Okay, could have had number 10. You didn't, just put that against your chest if you would. That's brilliant. And we... Stop. Actually, there we go. My thumb was slipping off. Just say stop. Okay, you could have had 26. You didn't, take that one. And finally, just one more. Stop. Could have stopped at 25. You didn't, take that. Hold it against your chest. And so that I can't see, okay, so to that end, I will cover my eyes. Don't look at yours yet. But you gentlemen, just look at your numbers. Yeah? Have you got that? Yeah, remember your numbers. And then, I'm going to give you Ashley's DVD book. I'll take the card back off your book face down, because I don't know. Find the page in the book. Don't look, don't want to be influenced by his choice, but just find the page that corresponds with the number you randomly selected. Can you confirm there are different characters on that page? Yeah? Just mentally remember one of those characters. Okay. Fantastic. Close the book and then pass it along to the gentleman next to you, but remember that character's name that was on the page number that you... Yeah? So find the page number that corresponds with the card that you've taken. And then look at one of the characters on the page that corresponds with the page number from the card, yeah? Done that? Remember it? Fantastic. I can take that back off you now with look. So find your page number. that's relevant to the card that you randomly selected. Remember one of the characters, yeah? Just one of them. Take the book back. In fact, I'll hand that to you. Come to you in a minute, I'll take the card off you. I'd like you to think of a TV screen here, and imagine, if it was Peppa Pig, that's purely coincident, but I'm going to say Peppa Pig. Imagine Peppa Pig, or whatever your character is about to start playing on that screen, okay? So imagine in front of you, it's about to start playing. My little daughter Ashley's in the room, and the question is, what is she going to be excited by tonight? Okay, now you've seen an image on that screen. Everyone just look at me. Don't say a word, but I'm going to say the first things that pop into my head. Don't say a word yet. Don't tell me if I'm right. Don't tell me if I'm wrong. But I'm getting a sense and an impression of, as I say, don't tell me if I'm right or wrong. But the first thing I was drawn towards was transport movement. So I'm feeling Thomas the Tank Engine. I think my personal favourite was amongst them. I collect Scooby-Doo. So I'm going to go with Scooby-Doo, Thomas the Tank Engine, and Bob the Builder. Don't tell me anything, but, not yet. But if I've just named the character that you were thinking of, just say hallelujah and everyone will go mad with applause.
Hallelujah.
Give him a round of applause and go back to the audience. You can go back. Thank you. If I just said your character that you were thinking of, please say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Fantastic. Give him a round of applause and go back to the audience. If I said your character, please say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Give me a round of applause and go back to the audience. I said I'd let you in on how some of this stuff's done. Here's the thing, okay? Obviously, there are only actually a total of 28 number cards. So quite clearly, it has to be one of the 28 pages, okay? That's not rocket science. Also, because me and Ashley have used this and my missus for so long, if you were to open it roughly to the middle, I'd know that that was roughly page 14, page 15, thereabout. And I've got a rough memory as to what is around that area of the book. So I can make a bit of an educated guess because I could see roughly where the book was being opened. So we're going to try and do this one blind. Don't look at your card yet, but when I've got the bag on my head, then I'd like you to look at the number you've got, open the book towards yourself, find that page and just remember, one character only, off that page, then close the book when you have done and put the book and card down on the chair. But obviously, let me put this bag on my head first, which is very small. Okay, Alistair.
Okay.
Look at your card. Get your number. Find that page number in the book. And then just quickly remember one of the characters on there and then close the book.
Okay.
Put the book and the card down on the chair. And then face towards me, I'm over here, I don't know where you are. And try and project towards me, because this one's going to be much harder because I couldn't see the book. I've had no clue as to where you've opened it. I'm getting a very, very, very clear sense. Without giving it away, I'm getting a clear sense of the colour green. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to go for this. If we get this right, everyone goes mad with applause. You should go back to the audience. If we don't, they'll just give you a huge round of applause anyway. As you go back to the audience. I'm going to go for Kermit the Frog. No. Ladies and gentlemen, give Alistair a round of applause as you go back to the audience. Thank you very much. Damn! Shit. I have to go home tonight now and lie to my daughter. Because if we'd have got that right, ladies and gentlemen, we would have had a miracle. And then I saw her face. What is that? What was it? What was it? It was right. Yes, indeed. It was indeed, was it right? I forgot to ask you, that's what I have to say. Oh, fantastic. My daughter loves that. I don't. I nearly pass out with the heat every time. Right. Oh, that's normally where I leave, but I've just realised a couple of things because work through that I haven't done yet. I haven't done. I wrote some things down earlier, that's right. Somebody's got an envelope with chance meeting wrote on, yeah? Okay? I also need somebody up here. Rayoni, could you just come up? Because we've got so much to do and so little time because I'm actually running just a little bit late. We got random letters wrote down throughout the show, okay? Now, if some clever buggers and somebody else wrote an X or a Z, that's not going to be much use to us. So if you can scribble out anything like Z, an X, and Q if there's no U's in there, won't be much use to us. We'll just take a few moments to look at that and try and find the longest word you can make, a bit like countdown. The longest possible word, but don't say out loud. Okay, the person who's got the chance meeting envelope, open it up, would you please? Okay? And just read out loudly, if you could, what it says on there.
I predict that the celebrity will be Robbie Williams. They will be singing the song Dancing Queen, and this will take place at the Hilton Hotel.
Fantastic. That is indeed my writing. Nobody switched it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's indeed what we got. Robbie Williams, Dancing Queen in the Hilton Hotel, which is somewhat slightly bizarre. Yes, stop. I don't want you to be under any pressure at all here, Ione. I want you to make the possible longest word you can. Count what we got here. Okay, well I can see what letters we've written. Can you say? Alright, would you agree that's there, yeah? That's there, yeah? That's there. That's there. That's there, yeah? That's fair to say all those letters are there that people wrote down. But there are also some letters that were randomly not so wonderful. Actually, I've seen some other words you could have. Could you announce what word, oh, there's a couple of spare letters, what word has been generated by the people who randomly wrote letters down during the show?
Water.
Water. Thank you, Rayoni. Take your seat, give her a round of applause. Water. Somebody has got the random word. People came up, wrote a letter down. Some people wrote a couple of letters down, actually, but that's fine, he just gave us more. Or whoever put the X down, yeah. If you could open up the envelope and read out the prediction of what word would hopefully be randomly generated tonight.
Water.
Ladies and gentlemen, water. No. Save it to the end, I've got a week finish. Although judging by tonight, I've got a week act. I'm going to explain to you how that was done. Okay? This was forced on you from the very moment you walked into this room. So the people that came up on stage had no choice except for the person who put the letter X. And someone had no choice to hopefully put certain letters down so that hopefully then, as thank God it did, we'd end up with the word water. That's because throughout this show, you have either seen me walk towards this music stand with the face on it, or you see me walk towards that music stand with the brain on. They were a bit clearer earlier when stuff wasn't in the way. Here's the interesting thing about these two music stands. Unlike the rest, they are actually blue. That would have gone in on a subliminal level. Okay? Blue just happens to be reminiscent of water. Not only that, the human body is made up of water. And there's an old saying, water on the brain. And they have been influencing it. If you don't believe me, just take a quick look at this. Slightly bigger version of the images you see on stage. Because they really have. It's been staring you in the face. Everyone that came up on stage has been looking at this. Put the two pictures together. Right from the very start, this picture and that picture have given you, if we get rid of that, absolutely no choice but to pick water. That is how some of this madness is done. On some levels you've been influenced subliminally. On other levels it's been by words. On other levels it's been not at all, when colours have been the exactly the wrong way round. But these things do sometimes happen. In fact, we're just going to move that back out of the way. One last thing I need to clear up, that's right, my grandma loved ballet. And as I said, she loved coming and seeing me doing shows. Just as I hope one day my daughter does, who I really do need to go bring. And overall not have to lie to her because my hand's okay. And her DVD book was put to very good use. Oh yeah. Who was it said Tuesday? You said Tuesday, yeah? Who said 2nd of December? Who said 2nd of December? Who said 7:11 a.m.? Unfortunately, my grandma's no longer with us. As I say, if she'd been here tonight, she wouldn't have even let me attempt what I call the Table of Doom. Unfortunately, my grandma, as she got older, started to lose the plot of it, dementia. And she'd often leave doors open and go out. One day, it was that bad, in fact, that she went out and left the gas on. Fortunately, she wasn't in the house when it effectively exploded, for want of a better description. There was some stuff that survived, a few things, but she had to essentially start from scratch when she got moved into the home. But one of the things that survived, albeit a little battered, a little rusty, a little soot covered at the time, which I cleaned up as much as I could, to remember my grandma, who, may I say, did live for a lot longer. It's just that, to me, she'd already gone. The person she was no longer there. Was this tray? Which has been on full show at all times this evening. And that day I will never forget, the day when we realised she had to go into the home because she was becoming a danger to herself. May need to start that up again. This is where we find out before it's dated to her how long music needs to be. I will never forget that day. All the time it happened. And in fact, to make sure I never do, and I've kind of brought my grandma with me to every show, I bring that tray that survived. And I wrote on a piece of card, as a reminder of how fragile life can be, way in advance, I wrote, Tuesday, and this is the day it happened, Tuesday the 2nd of December at 7:11 a.m. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before I leave you can kill that music. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not so much about me. Remember, I'm going to have to go and ring my daughter in a minute and tell her what a wonderful audience you've been, but you should give yourselves an absolute mad standing ovation because, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it, but maybe you can because you've actually made the... And now I saw her face.